Greetings, Dan Chavis here. There's been a number of police shootings even after the guilty verdict in the murder of George Floyd. One in particular is the murder of 16-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant, who was fired upon and killed by Officer Nicholas Reardon, who saw what he believed to be imminent danger and fired his weapon in response. My heart goes out to the family and loved ones of Ma'Khia Bryant for this unfortunate, untimely death, because no matter the circumstances, her life has been taken, and she'll never regain purpose or planning or anything she aspired to do, be, or have. And that's the tragedy behind the taking of a life. And no matter what the disputes are concerning its taking, the facts remain unchanged. And the facts are she's no longer with us, and all plans for a future have ended. This is not a video where I focus on the actions of an officer to highlight the need for accountability across the nation. For this video, I saw a need to focus elsewhere, like on the need of our people who are psychologically damaged, bothered, and troubled at the sight of habitual murders by police, to the point that at the hearing of a murder by police against a Black person, we're certain it was an unjustified murder, and are both traumatized and inspired once again to demand justice. No one should blame, judge, or accuse us of jumping the gun when we've had an entire history in this country of being murdered by police unjustly, without cause, and nobody being held accountable. Yet we've been placed in a trick where we have to watch what we say about it. Cops can be seen and heard on video conspiring to kill us. Yet if we express a desire to do the same in defense of ourselves, they'll be knocking on your door, accusing you of conspiring to kill cops or promoting and endorsing the killing of cops. If you're famous or in entertainment or professional sports, they'll launch a campaign in an attempt to cancel you and make you lose your endorsements. So we're not at liberty to speak truth concerning what we think and feel as our people are being murdered, not just murdered, but justified in the murder. We're expected to be peaceful, polite, and diplomatic as we tell how they were shot down like a dog. We're expected to march as directed by those who committed the murder in the first place. And if we don't move when they tell us, we're pepper sprayed, fired upon with tear gas and rubber bullets, and put on curfew, and then arrested if we break it. The cops can mow us down, even while protesting, and claim that we're the violent ones, while others are allowed to commit violence, in fact, murder, and leave untouched and unharmed if they oppose the protesting taking place. You can be an elected official seeking to encourage the right to protest, and they'll twist your words and seek to have you removed from office. I don't know of any people who have endured all that we are and yet endure and seek a peaceable means to correct it, all while being murdered throughout the entire ordeal. Because while we are protesting and demanding justice, additional murders are occurring. And while that's always been the case without public notice or acknowledgement, the George Floyd case has highlighted it for all to see. Because while the world was watching the outcome of that case, they saw additional murders, and we did too. If you believe that an officer of 26 years of service mistakenly pulled her revolver, believing it was a taser, you must think police are stupid as hell, because there's no way you can confuse the two. And any police official who justifies that confusion as being an accident is a co-conspirator to a murder. For he seeks to justify what in fact is a murder and has made himself a party to it. And for him to do so publicly in the full knowledge that every officer underneath his command knows that confusion to have been impossible sends a signal that murder is acceptable and will protect and defend you to the hilt. These are the type of entities we must contend with in attempting to bring accountability across the nation. It's not as simple as changing a law because police don't obey the law. And when they break it, they are protected and defended. Derek Chauvin was defended even after he admitted guilt. For some odd reason, his admission of guilt was glazed over as an insignificant thing. It was reported in the media, publicized by the Washington Post, but the trial of all time was put on display to see if guilt would be found. Here's a man 3 days after the murder, while people were tearing property up, demanding justice, he pled guilty to the murder, but wanted to serve his time in federal prison without federal charges. He wanted to plead guilty to state charges, but go to federal prison. The Department of Justice had agreed, but told his attorneys to wait. They didn't want to wait. Do you know why they didn't want to wait? I'm going to tell you why they didn't want to wait. They didn't want to wait because people were tearing shit up so bad and so quick, they just wanted it to end. And the only way they knew to do it was to have a press conference announcing he's guilty, he's been charged, and the sentence will be forthcoming. That's why they didn't want to wait. Because they didn't want the Department of Justice backed out of the deal. They said it. They said it in black and white. It's public information. Yet the whole country has been lured into this trial to see if America will do the right thing. And they had cop after cop fearlessly testified, oh no, that's not procedure that he used. Oh no, it's not a part of our training. When have you ever heard a cop testify against a cop and he's still employed as a cop, let alone 4, 5, 6, 7 of them? They very much wanted and needed this shit to go away. And the $27 million settlement didn't cut it. In fact, it inspired people even more so because they saw it as preparation to set him free and let him walk. But now that he's convicted of all charges, mind you, they are celebrating this as a historic victory. I guess they missed the part about the judge telling him to appeal the conviction based on his own failure to sequester the jurors. Because the defense claimed that his client didn't get a fair trial and that his request to have the jurors sequestered went unheeded. So before the verdict was given, the judge admonished him, appeal if in fact he was convicted. So now he's been convicted and they're already talking about how he gets to keep his pension. Will he get an overturned conviction too? From the looks of things, some other murder will be headlining in the news, capturing everyone's attention with little to no mention of it in the media. His guilty plea wasn't in the media except for 1 or 2 publications, and then the others picked it up. So an overturned conviction may be publicized the same, with little to no fanfare. After all, who wants to awaken the dragon by informing people they've been lied to and deceived and that nothing historic occurred? It was just the bullshit of all time, and you all showed up for it. It should have been the nigga pleaded guilty, fuck a trial, send his ass to jail. Because when we play their game, we lose. Why? Because it's their game.